As he's walking up here, how about anybody that might have ran or jumped or threw a ball or something? You want to stand up?
Several. You know, this has gone on for a long time, and you've sat here pretty patient, so I don't want to take too much time. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Bob. I think this is a great event. I mean, there's several things that it does. It makes a lot of money for scholarships, and I think that's really important. It brings our community together. Not that it needs done. I've seen this time and time again when somebody has a hard time, people come together, right? Several times I've tried to raise money and use my airplane to take people on rides out to the airport, and people show up and some of them don't ride and some of them write $400 checks and somebody needs it. And our community is that way. I think this is great. And the third thing about this is it brings my family together. We have a lot of families sitting right out here. My brother's here, played with Dave Wilcox back in 1959, 60, was it? Something like that. And I got nieces, I got 2 children here, I got a granddaughter, grandson. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. I'm going to introduce some other guys, but I've got to tell a little story. Now, bear with me, because I have a group of coffee people that sometimes say that I repeat things. And they may have heard this once, twice. I want to tell you about a year in school when I was teaching and coaching. I came here to Vale High School in 1965, and I became the track coach. And to say that track wasn't a real important sport in Vale High School might be a little understatement. But I had the job of trying to make it like the rest of the sports were. In 1967, I don't know if you know this or not, but the football team started out and they lost 2 of their first 4 games. They lost to Ontario and they lost to Meridian. And it was a young coach, that was me. There was an assistant football coach, and I got out in front of a pep assembly before our 5th game, and I recited a little poem called Bear Pride. I'm not going to bother you with it tonight, but I wrote that poem and I got out and I read it. And I'm not saying that had everything to do with it, but that team never lost another game that year. And they beat North Catholic in the mud in Portland for a state championship team. The basketball team won a district championship. I think we're 3rd down to Goose Bay that year. Okay, the wrestlers won a district championship. The baseball team won a district championship, and they stopped by Burns on their way home, and there we were having our district championship meet in Burns. Now, can you see that I'm kind of under the gun as a track coach, because everybody has won a district championship at track, and track had never won one as far as I know. Please, if I'm wrong, let me know. Well, we had a pretty good track team. I finally got a pretty good track team. I shouldn't say I should say we, because a lot of them are sitting over here. We had a pretty good track team. On the track, we were pretty tough to beat. And going into the last event, the mile relay, we were a couple points behind Madras. It looked like we were going to get pretty close, but no Seaguard. And one kid ran up to me and he said, "Coach, That Big Jones kid that anchors their mile relay team, that good kid, you know, later on went over to Oregon State and played basketball. He pulled a hamstring. He's not going to be able to run. They're looking for anybody to fill in. Thank you, Lord. Well, we had a pretty fair mile relay team that year. In fact, the next year, 3 of those and another kid took a state championship in the mile relay. And we took first and they took 6th. And a bunch of kids threw me high in the air on some shoulders and carried me away. And I'd like that bunch of kids to stand up over here. They look 50 years older than those kids did that day, but stand up here. Come on, let's go. Come on over here. Come on. Get up. Get up. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot for being here. The football team that year had a guy that was pretty important too. And he was the valedictorian that spring at the graduation. And in his talk that he had about what was going on around school, he mentioned Vale pride. And he was a tackle on that football team, Jim Kopp. You might remember his dad, his name was John Kopp, was around Vale for a while. Remember, a doctor? This is Dr. Jim Kopp from the LeGrand area, Coleford, actually. And been a friend of ours all the time. We surprised him on his 40th birthday. Wilkins and I went up there. Wilkins got me to fly him up to LeGrand, and we surprised him on his birthday. And I read a little rendition of Vale Pride, and we gave him a t-shirt with it on the back, and I think he got a little emotional, I'm not sure. Jim Kopp and his wife Leslie over here. When I quit teaching and coaching, as they alluded to, I started flying my airplane, and I've got a lot of satisfaction out of doing that. I think some people think maybe at 83, well, I'm not 83. I won't be 83 until December. But some people think I'm getting too old to fly. I don't think so. I've got a goal. I want to quit flying before I hurt anybody and before I bend any airplanes. And I think I'll know when to do that. I've flown for 4 sheriffs in my time. I started with Bob Ingram, went to Ron Millay and Andy Benz, and now Brian Wolf. I flew Brian a couple of months ago on a search, so I get to do that, and I have a lot of fun doing that. I know the county about as well as anybody, and they lean on me to do that. I lost my place here. I'll find it here pretty quick. Maybe I won't. But what I'd like to do right now, I've always wanted to do this, and since this is kind of my night, I want to do that. If you've ever flown with me in my airplane, I'd like you to stand up, and I want you to look around to see how many people are standing. You've been with me in my airplane anywhere, around the patch, any place? Yeah. Thank you. I'm not going to take any more of your time. I don't know what the criteria was for selecting somebody for this Hall of Fame thing. I know I'm honored and I'm humbled by being selected. I hope it's something that I'm going to tell you just right now. It's a quote by Abraham Lincoln. And I hope this maybe has something to do why I'm standing up here in front of you. Abe said, "I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. Thank you.